Humans are garbage. Humans are garbage.
You go through all that trouble to get Redbox and McDonald's.
It's a strange world.
Yeah.
Well, hello, trash cans. Welcome to Being Human Garbage, the podcast where we teach you how to rise above the irritating, selfish habits of day-to-day life and transcend into being a truly despicable person and a garbage human being. Did you want to make a harmony there, bro?
I tried to.
We are your garbage men. My name is Wells.
And I'm Ben. And today's sponsor is not Pepsi.
Definitely not Pepsi.
It's not Pepsi. So
yeah, we are neither attractive nor protesting. So we just want to make it clear we are not sponsored by Pepsi
or Kendall Jenner, which I guess is the same thing.
Kind of. At this stage they are.
Right. So
Kendall Jenner took off that blonde wig in that video, and to me it was like she peeled off her own face and showed that she was a can of Pepsi all along.
Yeah. Which brings up the question, what's it like living with a bad roommate?
That does not bring up that question, but I'm glad you brought it up because it is our topic for the day. So we'll call this the bad roommate saga. We don't know when we're going to continue it, but yeah, me and Ben got together and we started talking about like the roommates we've had in the past. We came to the unavoidable conclusion that roommates are filthy people.
Yeah.
And we wanted to teach you how to, or share our thoughts about it, and hopefully teach you how to be a more disgusting roommate, so you can really piss off the people that you live with. I think that's a fair place to go. So,
do you have any stories to start us off?
Any stories? My God,
Yes.
like my entire, I'm living by myself right there, and that's like right now, and that's not an accident at all. It's I have always had I've had a mix between the worst and the best roommates, and sometimes at the same time. But regardless, it's always been a struggle of having to clean up after people. And I try not to be that anal person that's that's the mom friend. But at some point,
Wells is the mom friend, guys.
At some point, you have to pick up that week old dog shit on the floor. Eventually, it has to get picked up, and I don't want to have to be the one to do it all the time. So I've been in that position a lot, unfortunately.
Yep.
God, specifically, I remember this one instance where I had a roommate who will remain nameless, or I'll give him a pseudonym right now. We'll call him Stormageddon. Stormy
could be anybody.
Could be anyone. Stormy had decided to make himself some bacon and do some homework, and so he cooked up his bacon, took the bacon, put it on a plate, and left. He did not turn off the burner or clean out the pot.
Purposely.
And so, yeah. Well, I assume it was more of a, I'm just not even going to think about this. But the more important thing is he used, a pot that was definitely mine to make a huge amount of bacon, and just, if you've ever made bacon before, it leaves a very significant amount of grease. And then he left the burner on to make it boil, and that is a disgusting smell. I don't know if you've ever come home to that at any point. I did. And the
smell of bacon is good, but if it's just
burning,
that is the smell of your apartment period
all the time,
then
for
you need
the next week
you need to maybe get a
but I've
Airglade.
I've lived so much of my life with filthy dishes in the sink, and it's only when I've come around to do this podcast and talk about how people need to be more terrible to each other that I realize what a gift it was in my life. You know? Just how many people were disgusting and put it on me to clean it up.
I mean everyone experiences the bad roommate, and it's an experience. And if you are, for the sake of this podcast, if you are someone who leaves bacon grease just out to boil, or whatever it may be, your dog, you don't take care of it and you allow it to shit in the floor or shit on the sofa, then
that sounds personal to you.
It is very, very personal, guys. So, but if you are that kind of person, then you're changing the world.
It's a heartfelt thank you from us.
Yes.
Not everyone appreciates what you're doing, but keep up the good work out there. It's really changing lives. Because here's the thing: is that when you're filthy, it teaches other people to be clean. And some people need that. Some people need that daily reminder of, oh, hey, the dishes in the sink look like a playground where monkeys without pants on were. That was a bad.
Ooh,
Everything,
no.
everything about what
Monkeys
I just
without
said.
pants on.
That needs to be the name of a band.
Yeah.
That was
compared to monkeys
with pants
with
on.
pants. Yeah. So like
I-
normal monkeys
normal monkeys with pants,
without pants.
but they were.
So you were
but
just
they
describing
didn't
normal
have pants.
monkeys.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's what I meant, is that they were having a field day in your sink, and they were like bathing their pet pig who had gotten loose in like a cornfield or something like that.
Yeah.
It just looks disgusting, and there's not even like a bottom of the sink to be seen. It's just mounding with dishes. That is a reminder to the person who didn't make it like that they need to be more considerate in their lives. So really, you are the heroes. You need to keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah. And if we didn't already talk about it enough, having pets can really help
Oh, for sure, in
With-
this process.
just creating a
And if
filthy
you-
environment.
And really, if you don't have a pet, just find an animal.
yeah.
There's a stray dog somewhere in your neighborhood. Just pick him up, cover him in mud, let him run loose in your house. He'll have fun. I promise you. It'll be the best day of his life.
No need to think of the possible fleas or
Yeah.
ticks, whatever.
In fact, that's
diseases.
encouraged at that point.
Yeah.
And then just leave. Just go away for a couple weeks. Go to Oklahoma and just chill out. Let your roommates deal with it.
Put the responsibility off on someone else.
Yeah.
Is I think what we're getting
Absolutely.
to here, because it's nice to be responsible for the things you have, like pets, but every now and then it gets tiring.
Yeah.
And we understand that. Like we get it. And
And let me tell you something. It feels so good to not do things, especially when you're supposed to do those things.
oh yeah,
There's something so like amazing about being like, I need to clean up after my pet, but I'm not gonna. And then someone else does it for you. Take
Yeah.
advantage of that situation as much as you can.
Yep.
But yeah, I think maybe it's time for
Bow, 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 bow. Today in fake history.
Though each and every one of us has dealt with housemates that are inconsiderate and filthy, many people are surprised to learn how recent a development in human history the actions of these disgusting trash humans are. For thousands of years, humans coexisted with each other in peace and harmony, with no internal struggles or ideological debates. Unless you count all the wars, but if you don't think about that, then it was a totally peaceful existence. But, just like the show Heroes, humanity was destined to only get worse over time. The year was 1969, and the United States was about to put a man on the moon solely for what amounted to a dick-swinging contest with the then Soviet Union. Roommates all over the world watched their TVs in anticipation, dishes cleaned and laundry neatly folded, waiting for the first ever images of a man broadcast from the freaking moon. That was when we saw the world-famous footage of Neil Armstrong planting the American flag and uttering the famous line,
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
What is often forgotten, but arguably more influential, is the line from Buzz Aldrin that followed.
I swear to God, Neil, if I find one more Jello pack floating around, I'm leaving you on the moon.
Though it is not often discussed in your history classes, Neil Armstrong, on that day, became not only the first man to walk on the surface of another celestial body, but also the first man to leave his trash and dirty dishes lying around for someone else to deal with. He would frequently eat and then not properly dispose of the leftovers, nor clean the surfaces or utensils he used during the process. Due to the nature of space and the lack of gravity, this meant messes would continue to float around the ship and get all over everything, making the journey to the moon a, quote, fucking nightmare of Pop-Tart crumbs and ding-dong wrappers, as Michael Collins put it. Not only was this a groundbreaking step for garbage humans to create an atmosphere of uncleanliness and an abandonment of consideration in an environment that had no atmosphere, but the fact that the American public got to witness it televised sent a message all across the world that garbage behavior was here, and it was here to stay. All across the world, people started leaving their trash lying around the house and purposefully clogging the shower drains for their unwitting roommates to clean up. In emulation of an American hero, they started spreading a culture of filth and selfishness that would stain the reputation of roommates for as long as people will live together. Today, Neil Armstrong isn't given the credit he deserves as a pioneer in the fight to be as terrible a person as you can. But we remember the leap he took on that day for all of garbage kind.
Really inspiring stuff
Wow.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Neil Armstrong. Who would have known? I didn't learn that in my history classes. I had to go to fake Wikipedia to look that up.
Yeah.
But if Neil Armstrong is the kind of person that you want to be, and who doesn't want to be like Neil Armstrong, really? We came up with some homework assignments to help you figure it out.
We
and,
did.
And get to that level, get to that Armstrong level.
The first assignment we want to talk about today is this. The next time you use an everyday object, hide it or put it somewhere it doesn't belong.
Yeah. So this isn't exactly being like gross or filthy or anything like that, right? This is just
Right.
Like what does this accomplish, Ben?
You know, it accomplishes a lot. The fact you share this house with other people, there's more than just your stuff. You know, you need to realize that
Yeah.
first off the bat. And so if you're moving stuff, it doesn't necessarily just have to be yours,
Right.
but just anything, you know,
Remotes to TVs.
exactly. Even the batteries of
Take the batteries
remotes.
out of remotes. No, I really like this. It's like it's laying out the groundwork. It's laying out the foundation, if you will, for like how to stop putting things in their proper place. You know, how to just leave shit out. And
Which leads us to the second one.
yeah,
You want to think of your trash can as a challenge. You want
I've never heard it put that way, but I like that.
think of how much work. I mean, just think of taking the trash out. Think of like how tedious of a process that is.
Yeah, you gotta pick it up. You gotta tie it closed. You gotta move a certain amount of direction to a larger trash can. Like, why do we need a larger trash can? We have a smaller trash can to hold the trash.
Yeah.
It's an unnecessary process, I think is what you're saying.
And so
It's overhyped.
it's overhyped, but also it's honestly too easy of a process too, if you think about it. When say it's just normal level of trash in it, like it's ready to be taken out, say
80%
say-
full.
Yeah, 80% full. It's simple. The bag doesn't rip. You tie it. Everything's fine. You know, nothing spills out of it. Nothing gets on the floor. It's too easy.
Yeah.
Now, our challenge, the next homework assignment, is to see how much trash you can possibly fit into the trash can, and how much time you can allow to go by.
Yeah. See how many trash days you can miss while you're filling up the trash can to its most full amount. Even to the point maybe where it's overflowing. Like you have didn't you have a roommate that used to do that?
Yeah. I will just call him Mary Pipkin.
Mary Pipkin?
I feel like that's a realistic
yeah.
name.
No, that sounds like someone you
good
roomed
old
with.
good old Mary. He was a great roommate. Pretty trashy individual, I'd
Yeah.
say. Yeah. So there's just in the bathroom well, you couldn't really see the trash can. So he had fully succeeded. It was kind of a mound of Q-tips, toilet paper, cardboard rolls, and you could just barely see the rim of a trash can sticking out of this
Right.
massive pile.
That's where you want to be at, for sure.
And so that's so much more of a challenge, clean up later.
Yeah.
That it's that more of an experience. And we're all about getting the most out of life.
Yeah.
Good and what some people would think be bad.
This is
Wells,
our
what's the last
this is
one?
our advanced homework assignment for you. If you've completed the other two, you're feeling good about yourself, you're ready to take that leap to be the worst person that you can. I want you to go to your mother's house or father, you know, your parent, and get her to cook you just a fresh cooked meal, something delicious. And as soon as she gives it to you, throw it against the wall, and then just leave. No explanation. Don't say anything. Just do it. And here's why that sounds obtuse. And why
Right.
would you ever do that to your own mother? But that's the thing. If you can do that to your own mother, you can just leave a massive mess of something that they cared about, clearly, and then just leave and leave them to clean it up, put it all on them. If you can do that to your own mother, you can do that to anybody, any friend that
You
you're
are
rooming with.
limitless.
Yeah, at that point,
After your mom, after
It's-
your own mother.
Yeah, it's like seeing the coding in the Matrix. It's like you've broken free.
Yes.
You're free to do whatever you want and navigate in this world as disgustingly as you can.
Yeah, be the person you always wanted to be growing up. Who really wanted to do chores, clean up their room, eat their vegetables?
Yeah.
I mean,
No,
that's
that's
just kid growing up stuff.
Yeah,
but
no,
as far as like
you-
being a bad roommate,
It's
goes,
the same thing, really. It
applies.
It's harness that energy of just leaving shit everywhere, never doing anything.
Someone else is gonna worry
You
about it.
have dreams to go accomplish. You have fires to go
Right.
put out because you're probably a fireman or a ballerina, according to statistics.
Right.
The important thing is, it's not always your responsibility. In fact, it never is. And you should just put off everything onto other people. That's how you really achieve highly in this world.
Next time you have to make a decision as a roommate, I hope you keep us in mind and you act accordingly. And you know, try out the homework. Let us
Try
know
it
how
out.
it goes. And
It's not easy assignments, and we don't expect
Right.
everyone to make it. But that's the thing. That's what being a garbage human being is. You could take 2 seconds and clean up after yourself when you eat. You know, just immediately go to the sink,
You could.
wash your plate. You know, that could be your thing. You could take out the trash when it looks appropriately full, and on Wednesdays, which is probably your garbage day. And that's what normal people do, and that's what considerate people do. But we're not here for that, are we?
nope,
No.
exactly.
No, this
we
is-
are speaking from experience.
This is
basically
being human garbage, and we are here to be human garbage. Let the outside of your apartment reflect the inside of your soul.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for listening to another filthy podcast.
It means a lot. And as garbage people, we shouldn't care, I guess, about your opinion.
Right.
But like, I guess that's our one weakness is that we do. In any case, an outro will probably happen pretty soon.
Probably
Already did. Being Human Garbage is an Art Flag production. Episodes are written, performed, and edited by Ben Drain and Wells Thompson. Ben is a sound and video editor, specializing in commercials for car dealerships, and he's very sorry about that.
Wells is a freelance writer, which is another way of saying that he's poor and waiting tables. Like Being Human Garbage on Facebook and follow us on Twitter @WeLikeGarbage for updates and more content.
Email beinghumangarbage@gmail.com to share your own garbage stories, give feedback, or talk to the team directly. All content is 100% satirical, except for when it's not.
Material is used fairly and unfairly as we see fit. All rights are reserved, whatever that's supposed to mean.
See you next time, trash cans.